Yeah, so yesterday, I might put a clip in here. I had a telephone pole. That drainage ditch to be VT'd shut, but I get, oh, what the fuck did I do? Oh, I hit a damn telephone pole. Oh well. Yeah, I guess I just took out my, shit. I wasn't paying close enough attention. Oh well. Well, mistakes happen. I tore my marker off. Damn it. I tore my marker off. In my 7530, there's my markers are on one selective control valve, and my lift and drop are on another selective control valve, or hydraulic valve, for the operation of the drill. Well, I came around the corner, and apparently I clicked the lift and didn't click the raise. There's a sequence, and it goes through your head that this is how it goes, and I clicked one, but I didn't click the other. And normally I click the lifts, not the lift, the marker arms before I click the lift, and apparently I didn't do that. I come around the corner, and you'll see that clip on video. I was a little bit peeved about it. A lot peeved about it. I was a little upset about it, but whatever, such is life. Fix that back up again, and then continued to plant soybeans, but it cost me an hour and a half of welding and repairing and stuff like that. And of course, now we have what you call moisture falling from the sky. That shut us down. I'm pretty sure I got about 60 acres done. I didn't look on the drill. I know I have every bit of 60 acres done. Right? Yeah, every bit of 60 acres done. If not, it's damn close. Maybe a little bit above, I don't know. But I could look when I get back to that drill, which I'm going to have to go back over there anyway today. But what I'm doing now is, because I'm over this way, I'm going to go down the road, and I'm going to go look at the peas that I planted that I'm not exactly happy with. They seem to take forever to come out of the ground. Yeah, it was cold, but peas are kind of a cold weather crop, so it really shouldn't have made much difference. They should have just grew, Like, it's cold, but it wasn't super cold. It was in the 40s and 50s, which is fine for peas. You can plant them like that. And then we had moisture and rain, and then it should have grew even faster. But peas are really, really fast-growing things. They come out of the ground, they don't slow down, and Timmy Corn Picker's corn planter's sitting out in the rain, which we're only supposed to get 3/10 of an inch. And I'm hoping for some sunshine, and then it'll dry off enough, because 2 to 3/10 of an inch isn't going to stop us from actually planting. It's just going to slow us down a little bit. Just a little bit. Take a couple hours off the agenda. But I really don't have a lot to do today. I should spray this morning. Once it stops, I'm going to have to go spray. I've got some burn down that I need to do for beans and corn and who the heck else knows, because we're going to have to start planting corn. I got about 500 acres of corn that needs to get in the ground. A little over 500 acres, because I repeat myself over and over again. But yeah, so that's it. That's what we're doing. So I'll return in a minute when we get to the field. All right, so now I'm going to show you these peas here in a second, right? Just a second. They're actually growing okay. I had them a little thicker than I wanted them. Well, I didn't have them as thick as I'd like them to be, but I had them pretty thick. And I actually tamed them down a little bit to do the other fields. I'm going to walk out here a ways so we're not in an area where it's a problem. I don't see any deer or anything, but I left my truck run, so you really can't see much, right? I wanted these peas to grow as quickly as I've seen peas in the past grow, but they're not. They're just kind of stuck there, but there they are. That's them, along with a menagerie of other things. Now, I did not burn this down before I planted them. It wasn't really necessary. There's a car coming up that field, up that road. But they have grown an inch or so in the last couple of days, and it's supposed to get to 80 degrees today with this rain, and there is moisture here. There's plenty. If you've never seen what peas do, I don't care if they get a foot. If they get a foot tall, I'd be really happy. And I think they will in the time that it's going to take before I can actually get them harvested. Or not harvested, before I actually have to terminate them. But what I'm really looking for with these peas is the root mass that they put down, right? So this ground, and I'm sure the former farmer is going to be like pissy about watching this, but the former farmer, and to his defense, he's not a bad farmer. He's just in the sunset of his career, and he really, unfortunately, doesn't care. Something you don't find every day. That's a drop. That's an unfired slug. Isn't that interesting? Maybe I'll take that apart, see what's in it. Primer's still there. Probably dangerous. I'll put it in my pocket. Anyway, he's doing the soybean and, what do you call it, program? Wheat program, which does not put organic matter back into the ground. It doesn't. He's a no-till farmer, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, that's what this is. These are no-till peas. And you can see down the rows, by the way. You really can. So I'm pretty happy with the way this is looking. The residue from the corn, it'll tell you how depleted this soil is if you look at the residue on the corn, which we're going to do really quite quickly here once I get... So this is a high traffic area. This is where I ran back and forth to the back fields because there's a bunch of fields back there. There is 170 acres, close to 170 acres on this farm. I think it's 169 point whatever. At least that's what the drill said. And that's about as accurate as it can be because the sprayer says that as well. So we'll come over here where there's not much traffic from driving over it when I combine it, and we're gonna dig into the residue a little bit. Now, first signs of healthy soil is that this stuff is breaking down at a rather phenomenal rate. This is still rubbery. Yeah, we just had a shower on it. It should snap and break right off, break right up if there's enough biology in the soil to actually do what you want it to do. And we're not getting it to do what we want it to do because the organic matter in the soil is about 1.5%. So the peas are designed to build organic matter and create a cover for the soil to keep it cool and conserve moisture. These stalks, these ones right here, these are going to conserve moisture. To build organic matter in the soil, you need to have root mass down in the soil. So all this residue that's on top here will not build an ounce, well, it may build an ounce of organic matter, but this right here, right there, that's the root mass or the root ball of the corn. And as long as they're intact, they will decay and rot up, or whatever you want to call it, rot and decay, and actually build organic matter rather rapidly because that's just how that works. Now, the peas, yes, these crazy peas, which we've gotten into a bit of a low spot here, which is on a hill. My truck is way up there, and you can see that the valley here, this is a very diverse field. It has valleys and stuff that you wouldn't even think. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick my knife down into this ground here underneath a pea, this pea, right? And we're going to dig it up because so the blade is like 4.5 inches or so. I am not under that root mass yet. There we go. So even though that pea is like that, what I'm after is right here. This is biology feeding root mass. So with that, all those fibrous roots, they go very deep in peas. So what that's going to do is it's going to hold the structure of the soil, it's going to feed the biology, and it will enhance my organic matter. The top of the plant, it don't look like a hell of a lot. What is that, 4 or 5 inches? Well, let's see, 4.5, 5 inches tall. Yeah, let's just say it's 4.5, 5 inches tall. Oh God, that part of the plant, fortunately, is going to get about 1 foot tall, and then it will shade this ground, and when I lay it over, it'll create biomass. And as it breaks down all the minerals, or P, K, and the nitrogen that it is going to be affixing into the nodules, those will feed my cash crop, which is going to be corn again. I'm going to put corn on this again. The reason for that is because before I put beans back in here, I'm going to have 3 years of corn on this before I put beans back in here. It's going to cost a little bit more for the corn, but to build organic matter on this, corn builds organic matter much faster than any other crop that I know of. I don't know, maybe sugarcane does faster, I don't know. But anyway, that's what I'm looking at for this crop. And I gotta pee, so hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. Where was I at? I was talking about building organic matter. So with those fibrous roots that are going deep into the soil, they should, if the plant is 1 foot tall, those roots, we call them roots here on the east, but those roots, if you're in the Midwest, those roots should get about 1 foot deep, right? And that will make, as they decay, that will make root channels where the corn can follow those root channels as they decay down through the soil profile and be able to get moisture and continue to build organic matter as the biology does its thing. So we're going to go over the edge of this hill here, and you really can't appreciate how steep that is until you're in a combine with a full bin and it feels like you're going to start to slide. So there's the truck. I call this the humpback field because it slopes to the left, then there's a hump, and then it slopes to the right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for signs that the biology in this soil is improving. And I did it before. I don't know if anybody's watched that long. Here's a kernel of corn. So first thing to decay in a healthy soil is actually the silk. The silk, and there's still peas sprouting, believe it or not. This ground was so hard when I put it in. Here's a pea, and here's a pea here. That pea there is just catching some moisture. There's plenty of peas here to do what I want it to do. So what you look for is the silk. If you see silk, then ladies and gentlemen, your soil is not very healthy, especially at this late in the game. So you can see here's a root mass here. They're not very thick because I had to replant this field last spring, and it caused an expense, but we still made money. You know, this actually yielded pretty good. I was very pleased with what I got off of this farm last year. There's always room for improvement, but you know, I'm not seeing any silk. Okay, so you kind of go to the center of the row here where the cobs are, where the combine kind of spread them out, and you look. I'm not seeing any silk, so there is a fair amount of biology here. You look for this stuff, but you know, even though I'm not seeing silk, these are very healthy. But the stalks were not mowed down last year, so what does it matter? You know, they're not gonna, you can't get them to rot down by spring anyway. So what these peas are going to do, they're going to shade the ground. They're going to, I'm summarizing now. I'm not repeating for those idiots that think that I just sit there and repeat myself all day. I'm going to summarize this. The silk is the first sign that your soil is on the mend. If the silk is gone, then your soil is on the mend. The next thing to break down is actually the stalk. So the stalk, so here's your stalk. It should become very, the cellulose in the center of it. This should be really pretty well dust by now. It's not. So to me, I'm thinking that there's plenty of room for improvement, and that's what we're doing. Trying to improve the soil, trying to make the soil healthier so I can reduce my fertilizer inputs. If you're not a farmer and you don't know, inputs are the killer of profit. So too many inputs, profit margins thin. If you can do it over the course of 4 or 5 years, yes, it'll take you 10 years to get soil back to a decent health. But it's at least 10 years. But the first couple of years in unhealthy soil, you're gonna have a reduced yield. You're not gonna just stop putting phosphate and potassium and out on the ground. You're always gonna want to supplement that if you're looking to, have decent yields. But the big picture is to reduce those inputs so that you widen your profit margins, so that in the event that there's catastrophic price failure or even drought resistance in soil is very important, and that's what we're trying to achieve, is drought resistance. What else? There's mare's tail here. So that's a sign that the mare's tail. Shit. That's going to be difficult to get under control. Not really. I guess I'll just use I'll use clarity on it, I guess. I don't really want to do that. Herbicides, again, you can reduce your herbicides if you don't have these, major weed pressure and you got good cover on your soil. Then you don't need herbicides so much. You can cut that back, a burn down is fine. But yeah, let me turn this around. You don't need to see my ugly mug. Yeah, so honestly, for what we've done, I'm pleased, but I'm not thrilled. Thrilled would be if these peas were 6 inches taller. So I'm just going to keep my eye on this. I got other farms that need to be done. I got a lot of soybeans that need to be planted, and 350 acres of corn elsewhere that needs to be planted before I come here because of these peas. And I got the home farm's going to be corn. I got a farm down south that needs to be corn. 3 farms up north that need to be corn, and that'll be a total of 550 acres of corn. And at 550 acres of corn, it's going to take a little bit of time to plant, because 250 of it is full of rocks. So I have to take the VT up and loosen the rocks up, and then use my 12-row corn planter that has the, oh shit, what am I doing here? I went the wrong way. 12-row corn planter that's got the Martin row sweeps on it. So I can just sweep those rocks. Even if I sweep 50% of those stones out of the way, I'll be happy with that. I'd be pretty damn happy with that. It'll be fine. So let's go to another field and see what we got. Alrighty then. Alright, so we're back to planting soybeans. I'm planting on the farm that I'm in the process of purchasing. Yes, we are in the process of purchasing this place. My offer's been made. I think we're gonna be able to settle. I think it's gonna work out. I just got to make sure that we have a really good year this year. So I'm pulling out all the stops. I'm not leaving. There's no stone going to be left unturned. I'm going to do my best with everything. No corners cut as far as growing row crops. You know, this ground here, I'm gonna talk to you about it a little bit. We sprayed it. You can see we sprayed it. There was not a very good cover crop on it, but for the most part, there was probably, you can't see what was here, but there was, because I ran it over with we ran it over with the vertical tillage machine. This regenerative ag thing can be difficult when you get late in the season, and nobody likes to be late in the season planting, say, the wheat that was thrown on here. You can see that some of it was, you know, some of it did take, but there was some other grasses that were there. I sprayed it a week or so ago, and I sprayed it back in April. It's May 6th or 7th now. But it took it down, took it out, brought it to a, you know, to a level. But we've had rain. We had 7 or 8/10 of an inch of rain on this farm 2 days ago. Day before yesterday. It kind of rained for a full 36 hours, and it was sticky. So I want to get these beans in because I got over 1,000 acres of soybeans that's going to be put in the ground. We're over 200 now, climbing up from 200. When I'm done with this, I'll have close to, I should have over 300 acres by the end of today or before it rains. But again, because we're supposed to have rain tomorrow. So if I can slam in another 100 acres today, it's going to take some time and effort. But Teresa ran it over with the vertical tillage machine, which basically has loosened the soil enough that I can move a little faster with the drill. I'm going 8.4. I was going 8.5. Let me speed that back up again. So 8.5 mile an hour is where I want to be, because my no-till drill, we can look at it from behind me. It's just a 15-foot no-till drill. I know that there's a lot of folks out there that farm that are like, oh my God, what a waste of seed, you know. But they work just fine here. It's paid for. I've owned it for 30 years. Yeah, 30 years? No, 20 years. When did I buy this thing? 2003. I bought this in 2003. So, 21 years. So I've owned that thing for 21 years. It's paid for a long time ago. Been rebuilt. Second time was just last year, year before last. And everything's working just perfectly fine with it. Because we are running the vertical tillage machine, now I do not have to go my 6 miles an hour like you normally would with a no-till, you know, in a no-till situation. But the ground was so incredibly hard that something had to be done. Something. What the heck? I guess I took it off because, I don't know, I took it off here. How's that? Now you're not blinded by my bald head. What the heck thing? We opted to do the vertical tillage machine. I wasn't going to do it. I was going to save on fuel and just strictly no-till everything. But I've changed my mind because the ground is like concrete from all the rain that we've had. I mean, we've had an extraordinarily large amount of rain. And it's not just a little bit of rain, it's a pounding rain, like 3 inches, downpours, no runoff. We're lucky that through the residue that I've got on top and the cover crop that was here, it was good enough that we don't have any washouts, and we certainly we didn't have any runoff because the ground is becoming more porous, but it was hard. And I needed to soften it up a little bit. I think emergence-wise, it'll work out better. So that's what I'm doing. We're running the vertical tillage machine. I had beans in here last year after wheat. Due to the price of corn and the price of fertilizer, not going to grow that much corn. Only 550 acres of corn is all I'm going to grow this year. But, you know, 10, 11, 1,200 acres of soybeans, that's going to be more than enough to deal with. Soybeans are cheaper to grow, and they seem to, well, let's just put it this way, the profit margin's a good bit thicker than what it would be if I grew corn. So now, coming to the end of this row here, and my wife decided that she would VT that. She needs her ass kicked for that one. There's a drainage ditch there, it runs out into the drain, and I really don't want that drainage ditch to be VT'd shut. But I get, oh, what the fuck did I do? I hit a damn telephone pole. Oh well. Yeah, I guess I just took out my, ah, shit. I wasn't paying close enough attention. Oh well. Well, mistakes happen. I tore my marker off. Damn it. Damn it. I tore my marker off. Oh well. My stupid fault. No damage other than it snapped it off of its. Yeah. Oh well. I'll fix that. I won't make the cut. Damn it.